Fire Mason can't wait. Feed them fly up the gate. Give me a slice of the cake. Blakk Rasta can't wait. Feed them fly up the gate. Positiveness me meditate. Yeah, you know it's Fire Mason representing. Yeah, and you're listening to Blakk Rasta, keeping it real. Stay focused. Told you.
Blakk Rasta, you are citizen vigilante. Are you run the whole Ghana? Blakk Rasta, social commentator. You come to liberate Mama Africa. Blakk Rasta, they say your thing mad. Or sad you for say that.
They are coming to trick your mind. Get your vote in kind. When they win, they say bye-bye. And when you're down, they pass you by. They are coming again. Why, election time, they will come and I see them coming, trying to get my thumbprint. This is Sheriff Garland, I stay what? More fire.
This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now, here we don't criticize, but if we must, it will only be on one condition. That is why we keep saying that yes, this is the voice of the truth. We only criticize to build and not to destroy. My brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues to look at, and we want to go straight up into our daily editorial. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is very interesting. My brother, my sister, and I need you to come along. My brother, my sister, the very first story we are taking today is coming from Ghana Web, and it says no bed syndrome is unacceptable. No bed syndrome is unacceptable. And this is Kennedy Japan speaking. And I read a former member of parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan, has called for urgent national action to address the present no bed syndrome in the country, warning that critically ill patients could not be turned away, should not be turned away because beds are unavailable. In a post shared on his Facebook page on March 25, that's today, 2026, he reflected on his past efforts to support the health sector while stressing the need for stakeholders to address the issue. As a country, we must begin to speak more honestly about the painful reality confronting our healthcare system. Now, the persistent no bed syndrome is a disaster. It is unacceptable that in this day and age, a Ghanaian in critical condition can be turned away from a hospital simply because there is no bed available. Over the years, I've made it a personal responsibility to contribute in my own way to easing this burden. At the Komfo Anoche Teaching Hospital, I supported the oncology department with 145,000 American dollars cash and about 200 patient beds to improve emergency and inpatient care. At the Old Ho Teaching Hospital, Agogo Hospital, in the Ashanti region, Tamale Teaching Hospital, Asin, Fosu Roman Catholic Hospital, and many more, I donated beds, wheelchairs, and essential medical consumables to enhance patient care and comfort, he stated. His comments come in the wake of a viral video which surfaced on March 20, 2025, showing patients being treated on the floor at the Accident and Emergency A&E Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Yes, we all saw the video. The video came out and it broke the hearts of many. At the A&E Center, Accident and Emergency, patients were lying on the floor and being treated on the floor in the 21st century. My brother, the country that is so touted for its economic boom, good governance, it is an eyesore to see patients lying on the floor being treated right there on the dirty floors of the hospital. My brother, my sister, it looks like in our hospitals you go in with one sickness and you succeed in curing that sickness only to return home with 10 more. 10 different ones. True? It hurts. Kennedy Japan said he's done his very best. He gave 145,000 American dollars cash to some hospitals in Ghana. He gave wheelchairs and beds. It is sad that a critically ill patient goes to a hospital, and the thing is that, sorry, we cannot have you because there are no beds. It sounds like 6 million years ago. In these present times, it is a crime against humanity for any hospital to have to send people away because they have no beds. I can understand that some patients could come who are not critically ill. And it is said that, you know what? We are choked with patients right now. For that matter, we are putting you in an ambulance to the next hospital. That I can understand. Because no hospital has unlimited space. Any hospital can be inundated with patients depending on what is happening. If there are wars around, some hospitals that are close to the war zones could be inundated with patients. In that case, I do understand how patients can be relocated to other hospitals. There could be some natural disasters in an area that can have the hospitals in close proximity to these epicenters of disasters, inundated with patients. Floods can happen, a volcanic eruption can happen, earthquakes, tsunamis, and so on and so forth. I can understand in this case why the hospital can be inundated and therefore might not have space and people have to be relocated to other hospitals. But in this age and time, you get up and go to a hospital and they tell you there are no beds. Doctors who are supposed to be in these public service hospitals are opening their own private hospitals. And some of them are still practicing in the public hospitals. And when they go there, they are just taking a walk in the park. And they know it. They give all their best to their private hospitals so that the dossier can be built beautifully. When they go to the public hospitals, some of them even tell patients to relocate to their private hospitals. True or false? My brother, my sister, this is not just conflict of interest. It is also a crime against humanity. I have seen and heard doctors tell patients in government hospitals, this is your sickness, if you stay here, you die. Come to this other hospital. My brother, my sister, and it is not entirely true. It's just that it's realized that there's a wealthy patient in there. And he will play on the ignorance of this wealthy patient to lure him to his own private hospital where he can milk this person properly. They talk down on the public hospital so that they will direct traffic to their private hospitals. I do understand a doctor genuinely telling a patient, you know what? The facilities we need to treat you in this hospital are not there. If you can, relocate to this hospital or that hospital. It's going to cost you a bit more, but that will save your situation. I understand that. It's just a referral. But where some people intentionally divert traffic towards their personal interest, and the word there is personal, it's crazy. My brother, if public hospitals are failing, private hospitals have no business erupting. I'm telling you. Look at what is happening with our government schools. Everybody wants to go to a private school if they can afford. What is the problem? Because in the private schools, the teachers are made to do their work. That's the difference. In the public school, supervision is very weak and poor. The private schools are not doing anything extraordinary except to make sure that teachers do their work. That teachers do the work that they are supposed to do at Saito. And they refuse to do the work. In this case, supervisors make sure that they do the work. If a teacher in a government school is supposed to teach for 1 hour and he decides to sleep for 59 minutes and work for 1 minute, the same teacher going to teach in a private school would have a supervisor tell him, you are here to work for 1 hour, 60 minutes. And they would open their eyes and make sure this is achieved. That is absolutely the difference. We cheat government thinking that it is just government. But we are killing our own. My brother, taking your children to private schools and private hospitals is foolishness. And I'm going to prove to you in a bit. Let's say the whole of Ghana has 20 people. And you have 1 child. Let's even say 2 children. And then you take them to the private school. They do their work very well. They come out extremely brilliant. Okay? The 18 others go to government schools. They come out not just as brilliant, but they are okay. This is just an assumption. My brother, my sister, let's assume that out of the ignorance that they graduate in, they start to work with the ignorance. Your 2 children who are the best of education will bear the brunt of the ignorance. Will somebody understand this? Let me break it down better. Imagine you were taking all the 20 to a driving school. You take 18 to the government driving school. That does not train them properly. And the 2 that you have, they go to the best driving school. When they come out and they are driving on the street, are they safe? They all operate in the same system. The 18 drivers will cause the accident and kill the 2 that you think you have given the best. For that matter, instead of looking for the best because you are privileged, think about those that will come and smear you with the dirt from the other side. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but my brother, my sister, it is what it is. Don't let us be selfish. Let us insist to have quality for all. It's like a farmer. Recently, there was a cocoa farmer who decided to spray all the farms around his farm before going to spray his own farm. And many people were like, this man, is he a philanthropist or what? And he explained to them, you know what? When I spray my farm alone and kill all the diseases that affect my farm, those other farms around me continue to have these diseases. And time after time, depending on the frequency with which I spray my farm, my products can also be infested. It's like you treat people of a certain disease that is contagious and leave the rest around you. They will reinfest you. So what do? You treat everybody that you interact with. That is why if you go to the hospital with gonorrhea and they ask you, Ewenam, how come you have this gonorrhea? You say, oh, Dominic gave it to me, you know. Dominic gave it to me. They won't treat you alone. They will ask you to go and bring Dominic. If it's Kwame, they will ask you to go and bring Kwame. If it's Kweku, they would ask you to bring Kweku. Why? Because if they treat you alone, you will go back and Dominic would infest you again. Kweku would infest you again. And you will keep coming to the doctor day in and day out. So the wise doctor tells you, you know what? Bring your mate. And feel free. Even if there are 5, Ewenam, don't worry. Dominic, Kweku, Mensa, Joe, and then maybe Same. Yes, Same. You bring all of them, and then the doctor will treat you all. The doctor is not there to judge you. He's just there to, my brother, my sister, we need to think about this. Those who think that they are okay by going to the private hospitals, this is the disaster that is looming. The same people who are not getting the best of treatment, they will come back and rope you back into trouble. Kennedy Japan says he is donating to all these people for this same reason, so that people can have good health care. He can afford to go to America for treatment. He can afford to go to the best hospitals for treatment. But 2 reasons. When you are healthy and the rest are not, you are going to suffer in the nation because a lot of work will not be done. You cannot do everything. You need other healthy people to help you. It's like we all are in this radio station called 3FM. 10 of us are here working. Because Blakk Rasta is rich, very, very rich, I can afford to go to the best hospital. My producer is very poor. He can't go to any hospital beside the government hospital. Ewenam, so poor. All of them poor. My brother, if I go and treat myself and come and sit here, would Ewenam be strong enough to sit behind the computer and do the work? Would my producer be strong enough to do his work? How about the other people left? They are weak and sick. At the end of the day, to have a toll on the work, and it will affect me. It's time to advocate. In fact, this is a human rights situation. It's not luxury. It's not a privilege. It's a human rights issue. And it has to be dealt with. When I go to America, see what happens. When people are sick and they go to the hospital, they don't ask them for anything. They just treat them. Whether they are illegal immigrants or not, that is not immigration. That is hospital. They treat you and let you go. They don't ask you for anything. And I've said that time and again on this show. My brother, my sister, that's what they do, because you have the right to health care. It's a human right issue. But in a country where you have to lie on the bare floor to take an injection, oh Lord, it is terrible. Thanks to Kennedy Japan, and thanks to all the other philanthropists who are doing their work. Please prioritize healthcare. Please prioritize healthcare in Ghana. Prioritize education. These are so key to everything we do here. There's a Latin saying I'll close with. Mens sano, corpore sano. They say a sound mind is in a sound body. Mens sano, corpore sano. A sound mind is in a sound body. My brother, if the two go hand in hand, if your body is not sound, how can your mind be sound? If your body is sick, you won't have a peace of mind, will you? And if you don't have a peace of mind, how can your body be sound? So you treat the two equally. Let your body be at rest, so your mind can also be at rest, and vice versa. I leave it here. Now the next thing we want to look at is here, and it's taken from My Joy Online. BOG governor warns US-Israel-Iran conflict could hit Ghana's liquidity, assures preparedness. And I read, it's interesting. Let's read this together. Now the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson P. Asiama, has cautioned that the ongoing war in the Middle East could negatively affect Ghana's liquidity if the conflict continues. Now, speaking at an international conference organized by GEXIM to mark the bank's 10th anniversary, Dr. Isiama said while he hopes the hostilities will end soon, the central bank has put in place measures to mitigate any potential impact on the country's fiscal system. And I leave it here. My brother, this is the same thing we're talking about with the hospital beds and all that. All the long story we told you is about this same thing. No man is an island, and no man lives alone or stands alone. My brother, my sister, this is what it is. There's an all-African adage that I love. It says, and I quote, when your neighbor's beard is burning, get water ready for yours. Some people say, when your neighbor's house is on fire, please get water ready for yours. Because nobody is a prerequisite for disaster. Nobody, my brother, my sister, is unique to disaster. Is unique to disaster. Nobody is disaster. Nobody is the custodian of disaster. Disaster. My brother, my sister. Bob Marley says, when it rains, It doesn't rain. When it rains, it doesn't rain on one man's roof, alone. It's a alone. It's a Jamaican adage. In fact, an African adage. What it means is that nobody is a reservoir of calamity. Nobody is a reservoir of calamity. In other words, today, when somebody encounters a calamitous situation, don't think that it ends with the person. The next day must be you. You see some people struggling, and you think that they were just born to struggle. Is their preserve? That's the word I was looking for. Nobody is a preserve for calamity. Calamity is not the preserve for any particular person. We all are surmountable to calamity. If you begin to understand this simple phenomenon, then my brother, you would be a peaceful person. Listen, I was shocked when some people said the COVID had affected some countries and they didn't see why people should be complaining that the COVID also affected them. Of course, some people made it their national anthem and got lazy. Everything COVID. We understand that. But everybody was touched by COVID in one way or the other. The Ukraine-Russian war is the same thing. They might be far away, my brother, my sister, but in one way or the other, it touches us. Even small Ghana. When there's a conflict between Ghana and small Togo, America might think that is so much of a monster, so huge a beast, that it won't touch it. But it's a lie. It affects it in one way or the other. That's what is happening. Iran, Israel, and the US at war. This is in the Middle East. We are in Africa, not even Central Africa, Western Africa. But look, we are beginning to feel the punk of the war. Because we are all dependent on each other. Nobody is an island. Nobody stands alone. We all depend on countries for something that is unique to them. If America doesn't depend on Ghana for anything at all, at least our cocoa and our sweet yams, they love. They are always here for our gold. If they are not depending on Togo for anything at all, my brother, you look into it, there is something that is unique to Togo. Because of that, when any of these countries is in trouble or at war, it would affect the world in one way or the other. It hurts. You see how you are working hard. You are saving money for a rainy day. This is where the pain is. You save 20 Ghana cedis. Now, 20 Ghana cedis can buy you a car. As the war sets in, inflation sets in, hardship sets in, the 20 cedis is devalued. What it can buy now is a bicycle. Before the war, it could buy a car. You see how it has affected you? You would have to work harder look for jobs that are not even existent to be able to match up at least to reality, the vagaries of the weather. Again, my brother, my sister, this is even when the war is not so serious. In times of severe wars, famine could come in. People will get hungry. Food production almost comes to act that to load money in the bank account and come on social media and show off. Your money would soon become toilet paper if there is a big war. Well, I'm glad that the BOG is saying that they're doing everything possible so that they can mitigate the problems of this war.
This is 3FM.
My Gold Coast now called Ghana. Gateway to Africa, gateway to the world. My dear Ghana, sweet, sweet Ghana. Set her free, free from the vulture. Ghana, oh Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah Ghana. Ghana, oh Ghana, Black Star Line. Ghana, oh Ghana, Dingas is a Ghana. Ghana, oh Ghana, Ancient Kingdom Ghana.
Black car cause our own trusted alarm clock. It will crow at the right time, not 1 minute late, not 1 second early, waking up not the master and the mistress who fed it by the rest of the community to be up and doing. Oh, remember what we used to tell each other? Early in the morning tomorrow, when we hear the crow of the African black cock, you must know it's me, myself, and I. Saying thank you for everything you've done for me today. And of course, previously. Yet when the festivities came, we were so much in a hurry to dehumanize the African black cock. What did we do? We assassinated it and served its corpse on our plates, which we proudly called food. This is the African history class with a big fat, thick, tall, standing erect and very hairy every morning, like the cedar of Lebanon, surrounded by the beautiful blue blistering pinnacles of lapis lazuli, the African black cock. And this is our African proverb of the day. Now, our African proverb of today is from the tree, from the Akan. My brother, my sister, and this is beautiful. It's from the Akan. And it says, we don't challenge the person who chews the shell of a tortoise when he says he can chew a calabash. Dear all we achichi dear echino say oka se obewi kura yenjinu echini. Dear all we achichi dear echino se oka se obewi kura yenjeno echini. What it simply means is we don't challenge a person who, after chewing the shell of a tortoise, says he can chew a calabash. My brother, my sister, people are judged by their past records, the dossier that they built for themselves. That's when a person accomplishes a more difficult task, like chewing the shell of this tortoise. Here is an indication that the calabash is just a mere walk in the park for such a person. My brother, there is a saying which sounds a little somehow, but it is a proverb. It says, you do not frighten a mother of twins with a big hood. Can I say it again? You do not frighten a mother of twins with a big langa-langa. If you stand in front of a mother of twins with your langa-langa and you are boasting that it is big, you are expecting that she will scream and say, Jay, where do you mean to me? You are lying. Twins came out of the passage that you think you can shatter. Twins, pam, like that. If you think you can frighten a mother of twins with your big langa-langa, you are telling an unfunny joke. She has endured more than this thing. A man has chewed the back of a whole tortoise. You present him with a calabash and dare him to chew that. What are you talking about? My brother, my sister, they say by their fruits they shall be known. Think about it deeply. Start practicing chewing the back of the tortoise or the shell of a tortoise. So a woman like this, beautiful woman, she has twins. Then you, a young man, you stand in front of her with a big langa and say that you want to frighten her, a mother of twins. You are joking. What she has endured is bigger than this thing that you have. She's just laughing at you. Think about it deeply. If you want to have it easy, accomplish difficult tasks. This is a calabash. If you have chewed the shell of a tortoise, the calabash becomes cocoa, as we say in Ghana. True or false? Think about it. This is the African history class.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Papa J, and I'm a regular student of the African history class. I love the African proverbs, Anomantua, original.
Yeah, this is Jack Coffee. Why? We're listening to Blakk Rasta, African history class. We also students here, and we like it. Yeah, more African stories, African history. You see?
The African history class. In fact, Blakk Rasta has brought something new. And this is where we are all listening to our own history. Ghana, Bakwasem, Bibi Mai, Bakwasem, Black, Nyamishrao.
Otororo mono African history class am. Otororo mono African history class am. Blakk Rasta grono.
Agbolosu no alodo. Agbolosu kete krituk padan panyato makazo brogidigi so wonu mamo keke levo da levo. Agbolosu chakrisu ebe no gumofali keke tomodo akponu yedokonu agbegbe ahove edamela chianko achiakonu logosiam odubu buyebu esujo hon tomu nyina wewu kotokolo wuto afrapola wula mo wonoma omiavedu tete milete tutele ka ba movo pompo ebe no zumojade kazumado abonu kredo agbatre o agbolosu no alodo. Blakk Rasta moyo zo drama odomo malakemoto wagabo wono cho fefea.
history class that today, several years ago, African people put themselves on the map of history. This is what is referred to as today in African history. Now today, oh yes, in 1807, by act of the British Parliament, Britain abolished the slave trade. British subjects were forbidden to trade in enslaved people, join the crew of slave ships, or financially invest in the slave ships of other countries. Today in 1944, hundreds of homeless black people in Johannesburg established a squatter camp in Orlando West under the leadership of James Mpanza. Now the camp was originally allowed by the city council as an emergency settlement to address the homeless crisis. Now, the community later became the foundation of the sprawling southwestern township of Soweto. Today in 1961, the third and final All-African People's Conference opened in Cairo with radical proposals and militant rhetoric that cost the conference support from both the international community and the several African governments that might have been showing interest. Today in 1965, civil rights activists led by Martin Luther King Jr. successfully completed their 4-day, 50-mile, that's 80-kilometer march from Selma to Capitol in Montgomery, Alabama. This is the African History Class, and my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, today in the African History Class, we are looking at fattening of brides. Fattening of brides amongst the Efik, E-F-I-K, in Nigeria. Fattening of brides amongst the Efik, right there in Nigeria. Now in Nigeria, they have so many wonderful customs. Some of them are jaw-dropping. Others are nerve-wracking. And some are rib-cracking. My brother, my sister, today we are looking at the fattening rooms where brides are fattened just before they are married out to men. Now, the fattening room among the Efik is simply known as Nkuho, N-K-U-H-O, by the Efik and also by the Mbopo. My brother, my sister, amongst the Efik, the fattening room is called Nkuho. And amongst the Ibibio, their fattening room is known as Mbopo. Is that clear? Now the fattening room is where brides are secluded. They are locked up. They are not supposed to do any work. Amongst these ethnic groups, the Ibibio and also the Efik, no slim woman is supposed to be married to a man. So if you are slim, they will put you in the room known as Nkuho. Amongst the Ibibio, they call it the Mbopo. Slim woman who is getting ready to get married. And you know what they do to you? They give you all the fatty foods that will make you fat, big. The quicker you get fat, the better. If it takes you 2 years to get fat, you will stay in that room until you become fat. If it takes you just 3 days to put on weight and become pufu like sugar bread, then quick, they will feed you like 10 times a day. And they decide what you eat. You don't decide. So somebody like Ewenam, if she was going to be married in Efik, they will be preparing a very beautiful nkuhu for her. In the morning, they will bring her warm milk. In the afternoon, they will bring her goat fat used to make jollof. She will eat it. Before you realize, her chest will start coming up, big poof. Yes, the melons will start to pop out, bigger. They will check you out every 3 days. How do they check? You strip. They will stand and look at you. There's somebody special whose duty it is to okay you. Nobody sees you, not even your husband to be, until you are ready physically to be a wife. Amongst the Efik and the Ibibio, it is a sign of well living when you are big, pufo. And there is one part that they normally look at, in fact, two parts of the body. They want to see those parts fat. Do you know which parts these are? Okay. So if you know, there's no need to mention them anymore. My brother, my sister, those parts must be big and puffy, so that the baby can get enough milk to drink. Because for them, the baby is a priority. The stomach must be big. Is there room for the baby? Like this. You can see it, can't you? Look at the milk factory, ready for harvesting by the baby. Ah. The stomach must be big so that you can have triplets. Amongst the fig, the bigger your stomach, the bigger the possibility of having triplets and quadruplets. So if your stomach is tiny like Ewenam's stomach, you have no right to have twins. So they look at the breasts and the stomach. These are the two most important parts of the body for the Efik and the Ibibio in Nigeria. So they make sure they give you fatty food to eat. You are kept in a private room away from the public and even most of the family members for a period ranging from a few weeks to several months. Now, during this time, she is completely exempt from household chores and daily stress. There's somebody in there to massage you. You are not supposed to see the sun for the sun to melt the fat that is being fed you. They massage you. They are at your beck and call. They will pamper you until you explode. Now, weight gain amongst the Efik and the Ibibio is seen as beautiful. It's a sign of beauty. A plump figure is traditionally celebrated as a sign of fertility. In fact, when I was growing up, this is sad. It's a sad story. We all were running away from people who were slim. We saw them as sick. True? My producer says yes. We all were running away from people who were slim. But today, it has become fashionable. When you are slim, you are hot. One, you eat less, and that's good for the man. He won't spend too much money on food. But I bet you some slim people today, they can eat more than even the big ones. I don't like the word fat. And look at this woman here. Don't think she's pregnant. No. She is just coming out of the Nkuho or the Mbopo. She's been well fed. She is ready to make babies. Oh gosh. Now they also see a big body, what you call a fat body, as healthy and full of fertility. You are fertile. Wow, fertile. And then you have enough accommodation for the baby. And it's a sign of prosperity. Normally they feed you on large portions of calorie-dense, starchy foods like pounded yam, ekpang nkukuo, and white soup amongst the Efik and the Ibibio. The woman undergoes daily massages, as you were told, with natural oils. And there are 2 places they normally would massage for the Efik. But the Ibibio would add a 3rd and a 4th part. And please, we are talking history, not Kama Sutra. I beg you. Some of the things we will say might sound like Kama Sutra, but it's not. This is culture. Amongst the Efik, they concentrate on the stomach and the breasts. They massage it with goat oil, goat fat, and then milk fat. Every morning they will come and hold the breasts one at a time and massage. Massage. And then they would concentrate on the nipples most of the time, and leave some of the oil there, because they believe that the nipples serve as the gateway to expansion. I don't know about it, but that is what the Efik think. Now they massage the stomach too, to broaden it and loosen the muscles so the stomach can drop and make more room for the baby to be born. This is amongst the Efik. Now when you come to the EBBO, they add 2 more parts. The buttocks, the backside. They massage it with warm, melted goat fat. They will let the lady lie down, then they will massage. Poof, 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 poof. The final part, my brother, my sister, is the front part. The front part. The front part, Abuna. They go there and then they massage. They massage it. The outer muscles. I honestly don't know what it looks like. I may have to look at it in a photo. You know, they just massage the vulva. Oh, it's called the vulva. Oh, good. I didn't know. I've never seen it, honestly. So they massage it with a goat oil so that it starts to pump up like a balloon. Poof. In Jamaica, they have a name for it. I can't say it on radio. So it becomes poof, like that. These days, I see a lot of ladies wear something. I think it's a certain toy or something that they put there so it looks poof. Amongst the EBBO, they use goat oil. So somebody like Ewenam, they will massage her very well and make sure everything becomes poof, ready for the husband. Oh, these people are interesting. I love them. Now after that, the older women will now come and teach you how to prepare food for your husband and how to satisfy your husband, not only in the bedroom, but also in the kitchen and on the farm. They would also teach you how to accept other women that your husband would like to marry. In fact, they normally will tell you, be a very beautiful and hot woman, so that every woman will like your husband because she has treated you well. Please listen to this attentively. If you look good and you are always smiling, other women would see that your husband is taking a very good care of you, so they would also want your husband to marry them. In that society, if your husband stays with just one man, one woman, I beg your pardon, it means that the husband is not treating the wife well. That is why other women are not interested in this man. So you will see the women talk to other young women. Oh, my husband, he's very good, you know. Hey, in the morning he gives me this, in the afternoon he gives me this, evening he gives me this. Hey, as for my husband, I thank God that I have him, just to woo you for their husbands, so that it will be said that they are taking a very good care of you. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, now you will also be taught child care and marital etiquette. You know what that means, right? How to relate to a husband and his family with respect and grace. Finally, you will be taught what is called the Ikombi dance. The Ikombi dance mimics the movement of the sea waves. You see how the sea waves move zigzagly. You see, zigzaggedly, like that. Ziggy, ziggy, zaga, zaga, like that, up and down. That is how the dance is. It's called the Ikombi dance. You will be taught that. And it makes the woman sexy and very flexible. Sexy gogome. Okay? My brother, my sister, once this is done, then you are ready. Oh my God. But recently, there have been concerns about obesity. They say they overfeed the ladies, and human rights people are also saying that they are treating the women like the way we fatten animals for the slaughter. You know how they fatten animals? So that they slaughter them for food. He says it's almost like that. So among some Efik people, they try not to do it now, but the traditional ones still do. And this is the Ikombi dance. Wow, look at the one in front. She just came out from the Nkuho. She's been well fattened. And look at the one behind her. They are ready. After they do this dance, the marriage is done. The next moment, my brother, my sister, today we took you all the way to Nigeria.
Luca Production.
I'm DJ. This producer is also here. Mr. Massive is in the house. And who is taking over the microphone from me? No other person than Tregmatek. So the big belly DJ is here. And he says he has a lot of tunes for you today. My name Blakk Rasta, Ghana's number one. I want to say good afternoon to you. And to you and to you and to you. Ike, good afternoon to you. How are you doing? Kick me. Kick me. What's me? I'll catch you again tomorrow. Between 12:30 and 3. Until then, Salam Nacho.